there to confront her about being blackmailed.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but at first you're also doing it in a very diplomatic, let's, start with the small talk and then let's get down to business work. Okay. Okay.
Leave today for a week on Alexander Mailing's boat. Should be great fun. Rusty and I everywhere together, but never before at sea.
May I come in?
Sorry, I'm trying to get, okay. Rusty dear, this is a surprise. What can I do for you?
It's 8:45, which is 45 minutes past 8.
It is. Well, time certainly does fly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You writing something, dear?
No, of course not. Just practicing my typing. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now then, why don't I make us a nice cup of tea? Isn't that a good idea? If you'll excuse me, I'll just put the kettle on. Well, the day certainly has been fraught, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, dear. And I have a strange feeling it's going to get even fraughter, which would make it the fraughtiest, wouldn't it?
Well, drama allures. And how poor Charlie would have enjoyed a scene like this. His widow and his mistress, face to face. Still, I imagine just having been one of Charlie's girls must carry with it a certain distinction.
Like getting the seal of acceptance from Good Housekeeping magazine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Look, dear, I think we've just about had it, don't you? Social and anonymity-wise. What I mean is, why don't we get to the point?
Alrighty. I've been dying to say that for years, but I've never had the courage. Alrighty. What an absolutely nauseating expression. I'm sorry, dear, you had some sort of point you were trying to make. What was it?
Your friend George said he was going to handle this, but he never showed up, so I decided to handle it myself. The point is, I'm not going to sit still for anything as corny as blackmail. I don't know what was the matter with me back there at the restaurant. I must have been out of my mind.
Actually, I was surprised myself. I never thought for a minute you'd go for it. Jeannie and Franny, sure, they still have something to lose, but not you.
I don't know about that. After I left there this afternoon, I went back to the hotel and called Marilyn.
You didn't.
I did. Do you mind, dear?
Of course not, dear.
Thank you. It was the first time I talked to him since the night that it happened. And you know something? He was really kind of sweet in his miserable Hungarian way. Actually, I think he's almost ready to take me back. There he is, great big house, up to his ears in laundry and everything.
And you want to be taken back?
Of course I do. That's why there just can't be any more publicity, if you know what I mean, dear.
Isn't that funny? I just assumed you were more or less reconciled to getting divorced after the Charlie business.
Look, honey, I don't know what you've been up to all these years, but let me wise you up. Tell you a few little facts of life. I'm spoiled. I've spent 5 years as Mrs. Alexander Maryland. That's the only thing I am. I can't go back and start all over again. I'll be 33 years old next month. 34, wait, what? Sorry. Oh, I'll be 33 years old next month. No, that's a lie. I'll be 34. And in this town, do you know what that means? I'm an old bag. But I'm not an old bag. I'm an old bag who happens to be Mrs. Alexander Maryland. Mrs. Somebody. Not just saying Mrs. Somebody. You know my glasses? But not to play Mrs. Somebody. A subtle but very elaborate difference. So let's say Marilyn won't take me back and we do get divorced. Everybody, at first I'll get asked out a lot. Everybody's very loyal. Got to see what we can do for poor old Rusty. Anywho, and anyhow, they're kind of curious. Want to see how I'm taking it. Then, pretty soon, the novelty wears off. You see, I'm not Mrs. Alexander Marilyn anymore. I'm just me. Then, 6 months from now, Marilyn gets married again. Now there's a new Mrs. Alexander Maryland. Then, you know what happened? My God, we just can't ask Rusty. It would just be 2 tenths for poor Ricky or Ginger or Peaches or whatever the new Mrs. Alexander Maryland is called. So then, I'm through. Oh, for a crazy minute or so there, I thought I might have tossed it all away, if Charlie had asked me to. But he never did. So what can I tell you?
You tossed it away for Charlie?
I think so. I don't know for sure, of course. As I say, the question never came up.
Rusty,
Yes?
could I ask you something? Girl to girl?
Sure.
You weren't really in love with Charlie, were you?
As I say, I was a village idiot. The thing that always killed me about Charlie...
The thing that always killed Charlie about you was you.
You know, darling, if I were you, I'd take it a little easy on those things.
No, really, I'm fine. Absolutely fine. You were saying the thing that always killed you about Charlie was...
The way he could con poor, unsuspecting girls into thinking he knew something. He was always good at giving them lessons. Tennis lessons, skiing lessons. My God, he used to give people reading lists, and he never read a book in his whole life. You wouldn't believe this, but poor Janie Highland spent the whole time they were together plowing through the brothers'
Karamazov.
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 Karamazov? Karamazov. And she can't even read the funny papers without moving her lips.
Okay, I'm going to